Takes a special kind of person to podcast.
Special, real special.
Who do we think we are, Brett? That people want to listen to us in our, for me, closet, and for you in your your like
my Nissan Xterra.
Yeah, people really want to listen to you driving around in your car, drinking a green smoothie, eating a banana, talk about your work,
having fiber farts.
But you have several thousand people every week that listen to you do this. It's kind of fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, I wanted to say before I was
okay, good.
I was watching here with all that you've got going on. I don't know if I'm proud of you or terrified.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me just say that we had a special guest stop by, Zen in the Art of Triathlon. You all know him at Zen Tri. Let's give him some introduction music.
There you go. Give me that face.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think he may have also given that face when he was talking with Heather. Wurtel? How do you say it? Have we figured it out yet?
Wurtel. You're the one with the big podcast hotshot. Hey, you should know the last name.
As y'all were talking about how your triathlon podcast has transcended into triathlon puberty earlier today.
Who was saying that?
You.
Why? Oh, wait, did I talk about puberty?
Yeah, y'all talked about puberty.
I had a very late
maturity and yeah.
I was the last male in my entire graduating class to get a pubic hair.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that I keep track of?
You kept it?
I'm going to tell you a story right now. This is a true story. I played basketball. Of course, in basketball, after the games, shower together. Everybody sees everybody's junk. Okay. When I was a sophomore, I was so proud to step into the shower, JV basketball, to display my tuft of 10 pubes.
Tuft.
So
they were all together?
I was oblivious to the fact
spread out.
How small it was. Like the size, it was still smaller than everyone's.
Like
but
above the wand mustache?
At 110 pounds, I was just so proud to have anything happening. So it was a traumatic experience. Having a very late puberty is difficult on a person's psychological development. It probably speaks to why now I need validation from others, and need a podcast, and need people listening to me.
Dork Mark looks like he was shaving in 3rd grade.
I was. Well, 4th grade.
Were you really?
I don't know. I was just talking about this the other day. I can't remember the first time I shaved, but I know it was like as soon as you get that dirty lip, I was like, I don't want to be that guy that just like sported it. So I probably started shaving in 8th grade.
Jeez. That's amazing.
Zen in the Art of Triathlon.
I shaved 20 minutes ago.
Talk to us about your race strategy. You're up against some tough competitors. You're trying to catch Rachel Joyce on the bike.
So what's going to happen is I'm going to catch Rachel Joyce on the bike.
And then you're going to walk a marathon.
Yeah. That's No, I talked with Angela Nath. Did she come by?
Oh, yeah.
I was in the middle of the woods, lost in the alligator swamp or whatever the hell's going on out there. We may be lucky to have a race on Saturday.
Why, you think it's too sticky?
It was almost. There's all the stuff in the news about it being underwater out there. Actually,
really?
Yeah.
I don't believe anything.
No, I'm going to try to get Angela Nath
some paper towels.
I'm going to try to get Angela Nath to wear a Zentri kit on the run, and then catch up with Rachel Joyce, and then with a Texas accent say, "Howdy, y'all."
Yeah,
as she passes.
Folks,
these are real guests over here.
Not yet. Hey, I want to thank, by the way, Cycles Texas. Everybody give it up for Cycles Texas. My main man, Baltazar, hooked us up with the space. He cleared out a showroom floor. If you want to spend $35,000 on a bike, I think Baltazar's got some stuff here for you. They've got like the uber high-end stuff.
Got some Cipollini.
Cipollini. Is it Cipollini or Cipollini? I don't know, but this stuff looks expensive. There's all kinds of crazy bikes here. Come on down. They also have a couple of kegs of beer if you're someone that likes the beer. Brett, you're drinking even though you're racing.
That's 2 days
Talk to us
from
about
now.
that decision making. Is that
it's carb loading. So I've got some good advice on that.
Well, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, what time is it? Oh, we've still got 10 minutes to Justin Daerr. Are you Justin? Oh, Justin Daerr is here, everybody.
Are you sure?
We've never met face to face. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good looking guy.
Wow.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. You're welcome.
You know why I'm doing that, by the way? I got accused of sexism because I pointed out that Angela Nath is extremely attractive. And so I figured it wouldn't be sexist if I also say that a lot of the guys are attractive, right? As long as I'm balanced.
No. Homeostasis?
No. It has nothing to do with sexuality, Brett. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand that word. It's too big for me. But no. I don't care if men go with men, whatever. Anyway, moving along. This is a disaster.
Stop, quick, Mark.
This is why you should
research.
This is why you should
I
never
don't know about homeostasis.
You should never improv. This is why you should never improv. Brett, by the way, I want to thank you because when I started my podcast, of course,
you came and sat on my couch.
Yes,
in my guest room, and we stared at my bike, and then you had this look on your face of like, oh crap.
And you opened up your playbook and showed me how to do this.
Yeah, I totally did. So
what do you want?
I've started now. What do I want?
You want to shake me down for money now?
No, I've started a bunch of people in the triathlon podcasting sphere.
Okay.
So
who else? Whose work should we blame you for?
Oh, Rich Roll. Actually,
started
Vinny Tortorich.
You started them?
Well, in a very roundabout, can't take their claim because they're much better than me way. But when Rich Roll was starting up his own podcast, he called me up.
Guy. He owns Ventum bikes, right?
Yeah.
You own Ventum bikes, right?
An hour.
What's your name? Dia? Is that your name?
All right.
Oh, what's up, man? Cheers, brother.
Yeah,
we're live on YouTube too. Yeah, come on, grab a mic. We'll put you on air.
That's the guy that took my top spot on the mustache.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to get you on the air here, my man. We got to get you on the air.
It's always November in Canada.
When Rich Roll first started up, he asked me, he called me up and asked me, hey, and there weren't that many triathlon podcasts yet. And he said, hey, I want to start one up. And I don't, he's so nice. And he's like, I don't want to step on your toes or anything. And I said, no, like, you're a really good friend. Let's talk. And I told him everything I knew, which was a 5-minute conversation. And then Vinny Tortorich did the exact same thing. Called me up, asked and then you
came by. Godfather of podcasting.
Yeah.
Zen in the art of triathlon.
Yeah. I broke ground and then stayed there. No, I've got a full-time job, Brett, and like all this stuff. So I can't take it to the level of some other people, So.
Brett, have you ever considered making your shows shorter? A lot of people give you grief because there's some of them are
by a lot of people. It's
5 hours long.
And 5 hours. I just got an email the other day that said I should go 8 hours.
No. Don't do that.
I know.
That's crazy.
No, but no, it's actually great to drop by. And
Brett,
do I need to make room for somebody?
What is new on Zen and the Art of Triathlon, by the way? What do we need to know about your show?
Tawny Prazak, who is not unattractive, is my new coach.
She's your coach.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, that's interesting. But you're a coach yourself.
I know.
I never understood that. How can
coaches hire other coaches?
Why are you not good enough to coach?
Are you just doing that for the publicity? It seems like a publicity stunt to me. I'm going to be honest.
She is much better at all the blood testing and metabolic stuff.
You don't need blood testing. Listen, no more pricks. No more blood testing. BSX Insight, okay? You can get your
where's the BSX guys? I've been meaning to
you can get
talk to them.
You can get your lactate through a calf guard and a compression sleeve. So.
Yeah, I've been talking. They're from Texas, so I'm actually really excited to talk with them.
Oh.
So
yeah, he was just around here.
The funny thing about this is we're doing a show, but there's also people here shopping.
And
at the same time, we're watching.
Any attention at all.
Any attention to us at all.
So hey, you.
Hey, what's up?
Where do you live?
I live. I'm in the wind.
In the wind.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brett Blankner, now interviewing Dark Mark. Seizing control of my show.
Yeah. Where's this guy from? Is he a mystery?
Yes.
To more than just me?
He's a very mysterious.
Stop asking questions.
Hey, Zach Boring, you want to give me a beer? Would you get me a beer, please?
Yeah, make it 2. Boring.
Hurry up.
That's not a good name for podcasting. He's boring.
That's his real name. But he's not a boring guy. He's got a hot.
So we have the king of all technology, which I'm stoked to finally meet. And then
Try Fantasy, Zach Miller.
Try Fantasy. I was looking over there.
We'll be playing Fantasy Triathlon this weekend. Will you be placing any bets?
I don't know how to play it. Can you please?
It's so.
I tried and I messed up. I know.
A child could figure it out.
No, but I've never played any kind of fantasy anything.
Except Dungeons and Dragons, you huge nerd.
Dungeons and Dragons. Zork. There's a mailbox in front of you. Open the door.
Hey, king of all technology, you just want to roll into Justin Daerr from here? You want to just roll into Justin Daerr?
Yeah, this is a perfect intro.
Live?
Okay.
All right.
Should I move? Should I leave? What do I do?
Just stay there and Yeah, you could.
I want to
first
talk
of all,
to Justin Daerr.
ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Brett, Zen in the Art of Triathlon. Now,
I haven't done anything.
Brett, get the hell out of here. Take your headset off. I'll
All right.
take your microphone from you.
Watch the cords.
We'll welcome Justin Daerr. Give it up for Justin Daerr, everybody.
Hey.
The man in black, the man in the black pajamas. That's a Vietnam reference. Your old man was a Vietnam vet.
Yeah, he was.
Here, I'll give you a mic. Here you go, brother. So we do it live. This is more fun than podcasting, Brett. It's live.
Is that the camera?
That's the camera. Yeah, I mean, make sure that you show the camera your good side.
Dozens of people watching, literally.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Daerr, 7-time Ironman champion. Give it up for him.
7 times.
Is that an exaggeration?
Only by 7.
I'm on the sauce. I feel you have a win coming on here.
Yeah, I've been here a lot. I've been here every year.
You have never finished outside the top 5 at Ironman Texas. Is that true?
The first year I was 7th, and then since then, it was 2nd, 4th, 3rd, in that order.
So we have a lot in common, and I'm excited to talk to you because I did my research, and I'm like, man, I got a lot to talk about with this guy. First of all, I married an Aggie, so gig him.
Gig 'em.
You wearing your ring?
I don't have a ring.
No Aggie ring.
No Aggie ring.
Get him yours.
Where is your sense of school pride?
I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't have the biggest hands. Yeah, so this is a good example.
You have
because,
tiny hands?
Yeah, and these are gargantuan.
They're huge.
So I needed to get a woman's ring if I was going to really pull it off. So I opted not to do it because you can see it just doesn't really.
Oh
Just doesn't really work that well. So I opted not to have. I don't. The only ring I've ever worn is my wedding ring.
All right, the Colt.
So
So, well, we got multiple Aggies in the house. Anybody else besides Brett and Justin? All right. Well, I married an Aggie, which basically means, I'm an Aggie. I'm from Michigan, so I have no allegiance down here. So it's an interesting place, A&M. You started the Tri Club there, right? Is that also true?
I did not technically start it. What happened was there was like a triathlon beginners course that was set up through the rec center that
Okay.
the first year I was invited in to help, and then the second year I ran it. And the second time it happened, and this was in the spring, when it concluded, it was like 10 weeks long or something like that. People got together to train. And at the end, there was a group of individuals that wanted to keep it rolling.
Yeah.
And so I worked with them initially getting the club started, but I served no founding. I was graduating in a semester.
Okay.
So I didn't really want to be like, if I started it.
All right. Let's call timeout and do that again, but this time take full credit for something you didn't do. Let me coach you up a little bit.
That's
here.
how I like to do it.
Let's just say when I went into the school, there was no club, and when I left, there was.
That's right. He started the Tri Club, ladies and gentlemen.
Fantastic.
Always take credit. Always take credit. I mean, we've got to teach this guy a thing or two.
Did you start drinking at the first interview of the morning? I just want to know how many hours in I'm into this.
No, this is probably my 4th beer. I have to be
Okay.
honest with you. It's been stressful. I feel like now we're getting into the groove. I can relax a little and have some fun.
I mean, 6 hours of radio. That's pretty solid.
It's more difficult than recording an hour and a half podcast in your closet
Right.
in front of.
Got to get rid of the dead air.
It's live.
Yeah.
We had some technical difficulties this morning. I hope to God it's fixed now, but who really knows?
We had a wardrobe
May need to-
malfunction.
May need to yell at King of All Technology later. So your mother is Swedish.
My mother is Swedish.
There's a big Swedish population in Houston.
Well, in my little world, there was, because she was involved with sort of the various Nordic clubs in Houston.
Okay.
And so because of that, a lot of the people that were around me were either from Sweden or connected or from Norway. And so we definitely had a lot more Swedish people around us than probably the normal Texan would.
And so rumor has it is that she, had you wearing clogs to school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Was that weird? Did kids make fun of you for that?
Well, so I spent a lot of time in Sweden growing up when I was younger because it was so far away. Particularly then, it took 36 hours or so to get there from Houston, and so my grandparents and stuff would come over for maybe 2 months at a time, and in the summers when I was young, I would go for 6 weeks or
Oh, wow.
quite a long time.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I would do things that were very Swedish, and no one told me it wasn't cool to eat liver pate sandwiches and wear clogs.
That was in my notes.
Yeah.
Liver pate sandwiches
With cucumbers.
with cucumbers.
Yeah.
Actually, it sounds pretty good.
Is that what you will be eating on the bike on Saturday?
You know, it's a little warm for that. That's
Yeah.
more of a cold weather
Oh, of course.
sort of.
That sounds
Yeah.
like something they would sell to you from an Austin food truck for $15.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
happy to pay for
Oh,
it
yeah.
now. So,
Yeah,
but you got goofed on for it back in the day, probably.
I did, you know. I think now it would definitely be. I'd be the coolest kid.
So wasn't
At
it?
school.
It's all that teasing that caused this anger deep within you, this rage that made you want to be a professional triathlete and destroy people. Isn't that true?
That is
Justin?
true. Yeah, it all goes back to cucumbers and pate.
This therapy session will be $150 an hour.
Just bill my insurance,
I will.
which will be just endless paper trail.
Ironman provides insurance for professional triathletes.
All of us.
correct?
Oh yeah.
Good. Happy to hear that. Happy to hear that. Born and raised in Houston. So, I mean, a lot of family and friends here probably watching, hanging out.
Yeah, usually there's a contingent that comes out, and also I have family all around the state, so they usually come down. It's been a little bit of like a family reunion for them. They kind of do their own thing and then show up on race day and check it out.
Now, you do have one Ironman win under your belt.
Yeah.
And are you feeling pressure now? I mean, you won Colorado, the inaugural event. Do you feel if you don't win Saturday, you'll disappoint everyone?
Probably disappoint myself the most.
Stacked field, though.
It is a stacked field. You know, I always put together a plan on what I think it'll take to win a race.
Yeah.
On paper, which is, you know, may or may not be accurate, but it's.
Right.
I think usually I'm pretty good with knowing what it might take, assuming there aren't some weird variables, and then I just try to build a plan to get there and try to get as close as I can, and then come out and try to do it.
Any of these brothers you're racing against that we need to watch out for? A lot of people playing fantasy triathlon now,
Mhm.
risking their hard-earned money to
Mhm.
try to win millions of dollars. That's
Yeah.
a lie, isn't it? There's not millions of dollars. you
Not
can-
yet.
Not yet.
Give it a month.
But I'm going to bet $100. Not bet. This isn't WTC. I don't run illegal gambling rings. But I will risk 100 of my hard-earned dollars to play fantasy triathlon, a game of skill,
Mhm.
not gambling. Should Justin Daerr be in my top 5?
Yes.
I like that. Give it up. Quiet confidence. Quiet confidence. If you had said, "Aw, shucks," I don't know, I'm just happy to be here, I'd have been worried. I'd have been really worried. Moved to Boulder from Houston. I mean, how's that transition? You
Well, I've
like
been
it?
there a
You like
long
it up there?
time. When I was actually in college, I took an internship with Vela News magazine
Oh, yeah.
at the time. And so I lived illegally in a basement. It's like they subletted so when the landlord would come around, they were like, "Don't come up out of the basement." And it was unfinished, and I had like a mattress
This
on
is
the
like the
floor.
Underground Railroad or
Yeah.
something. What is this?
So that's actually where I got a little more. I mean, I had started doing triathlon, but I wasn't actually that full on into it. And when I went there, you know, I think in Texas I had gotten pretty good by Texas standards. I went up there, and obviously, you know, you're surrounded by. I mean, the first session I went to at the pool, there was Tim DeBoom, and there, you know, it's just
Yeah.
surrounded by.
Right.
I went to a master session and like, you know, drowned and all this type of stuff. So
You ride up Left-Hand Canyon and get passed by 20 people.
yeah, got hailed on.
Yeah.
If you have never been in the mountains and think that maybe you might not make it out, and you haven't quite lived yet, you know, I mean, that's part of like the initiation. Like you got to get stuck
I never had that.
somewhere.
I never had that. I got caught in a pretty nasty sleet storm coming down Left-Hand
Yeah,
once.
that's
but,
pretty good.
But never like
You never
life was in
questioned whether,
danger.
yeah,
Never life in danger. But
Yeah.
so you like it up there. I mean, Colorado's awesome. Let's face it.
I do.
And who are your big celebrity friends up there that you hang out with in Boulder? I mean, all the big stars are there.
Right. Well, I guess I see all of them, but I train out of the Colorado Athletic Club, which actually owns Flatirons now, but Flatirons and Rally kind of where a lot of the pros congregate.
Okay.
So I don't see as many of them as the others do, like on a daily basis and things like that. But
Yeah.
I regularly train with, you know, lately I'll hook up with Pat Evo and Chris Lieferman and a few other guys, but I typically don't go to a lot of really big sessions. I like to train with, 3 or 4 people or 2 or 3, something like that in
Right.
smaller groups.
Small groups. Mark and I like small groups.
Do we?
I don't know. Moving along. COO of Endurance Corner. What is Endurance Corner? I wasn't sure what that is really. That's like coaching, online coaching?
Yeah, it's been a Gordo Burns started it.
Oh, yeah. I read his book. What is it? Going Long?
Mhm. And he's
Never been a specialty of mine, by the way.
No. He actually, if you look in there, the sketches of the dude doing random exercises is me.
Really?
Yeah, because I went in and did when I first was living in Boulder full time. I was trying to find a way to make a living.
So you did modeling.
I did whatever needed to be done. And so I think Gordo sometimes would just try and create things for me to do so that he could justify helping
Paying
me
you?
out. Yeah. So I would do, whatever. I'd run errands. I'd take out the trash. I would do modeling. And eventually I did more of the.
Did you say do modeling?
Do
or
modeling.
Nude modeling.
Yeah. Well, in Sweden,
Again, whatever it takes to make the ends
we're not
meet.
as bashful being Swedish. Like when I was a kid,
That's right. American.
you had to get over your insecurities pretty quick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's see. We're too uptight in America.
I like
Yeah.
Sweden.
We're too uptight with our shame, our body shame.
Right.
Maybe one of us should streak the
You
banquet.
should, set the. You're halfway there. They can't see it, but
That's true.
I see the party going on at the bottom there.
Thank you very much. I'm
Yeah.
very excited to be here. So, how's the online coaching business going? Are you out to crush Endurance Nation? Is that your chief rival?
Because of the name, no. I think Rich Strauss, started that company
Yeah.
a long time ago, and back in Gordo's old forum, he was a
He's a
a
regular.
regular poster, and
Then he stole all those ideas and started.
No,
a website.
I don't actually know when the two started.
I'm trying to just start controversy here. Just make up lies until you agree with one.
I think that they're totally different models though, because ours is really, we don't really have plans. There's more just one-on-one, and it's much smaller. Endurance Nation has a ton of athletes, big camps, all that type of thing. So
Yeah.
we're more of a smaller sort of subgroup, and we put out more like training related content on the website as part of our deal.
More of an education type.
Yeah, not. It's almost all sort of. One of our partners, Alan Cousins, is one of the smarter guys I know. So some of the physiology stuff comes from him, and then maybe a little more of like the, some of my experiences and things like that come out, and the other coaches will write, and sometimes we have guest contributors, that sort of thing.
So when you first sat down, we started talking about it a little bit, then we got sidetracked. But your dad is a Vietnam vet, and I know that one of the things you're big into is like the Wounded Warriors thing and raising money for them. Talk to us a little bit about what you're up to.
Yeah, so my father is a disabled vet. He was injured in May of '67, and he was 22 years old, and basically,
Oh man,
and basically, had to be told you're never going to live the life that you did.
Yeah.
And not only that from a physical standpoint, but at the time, he actually mentioned it to me the other day. He said, nowadays, if anytime he mentions his service, everyone is very gracious and appreciative and all that, and that didn't exist.
now they are.
Yeah,
Right.
times have changed.
When he was 22, that wasn't the case.
Yeah, when he was jumped while in uniform one time and attacked, and the cops threw him in the overnight jail and not the people who attacked him. And there's some other stories that aren't very pleasant.
The whole support the troops vibe wasn't really happening back then.
And so there was the physical side, but there was also just trying to kind of get on with your life. And I think I grew up around a few of my friends' parents also happened to be Vietnam vets, so it was very like, I kind of assumed that everyone that was in that age bracket had served, and was always very in tune with what was going on. But as I got older, I saw a lot more than I realized, and I realized that, and my dad in particular, there's no day he doesn't deal with pain.
Yeah.
And so he's 70 now, and so from 22 on,
50 years of this.
Yeah, so 50 years of discomfort and challenges and all these types of things, and the Wounded Warrior Project started fairly recently, and we have a lot of servicemen and women coming back from from serving overseas or in various situations where they're injured, and advancements in medicine are keeping a lot more people alive that may not have otherwise. And so there's a lot more situations that they have to deal with. And I thought my dad was always a good example of somebody who had those hardships but managed to be very successful.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that those that had a similar background, they seem to not, they seem to thrive under these circumstances. And I think more and more people could do that. And so one of the things that the Wounded Warrior Project really tries to do is they're not really trying to erase what happened to you. They're sort of saying, you have a new reality and let's help you adjust and move forward with it.
Yeah.
And so starting in 2013, I just kind of threw it together. I was like, I'd like to, I do so many things for myself, and maybe now I have a big enough platform that maybe I could start just spreading the word about things and raising some money. And so we raised, $5,000 in the first year, and then we raised 10 grand or 11 grand last year. And then this
By the way,
year,
that's not a small number.
no, and this year, we're
It's
trying
not
to
like
push.
you're Chris McCormack with 60,000 followers and
No.
60 other fake ones. I mean,
No,
you're
yeah. I mean, it was very grassroots. It was just kind of like social media. I would tell some stories, share some photos, and share some of the personal experiences. And so we were trying to raise about 15 grand this year. So, you start over the years, you start talking 25, 30 grand and, maybe more to come. And it starts to become, like maybe you're making a difference for, one person or two people or something.
I'd say you're putting a small dent in at this point, which is fantastic.
So every year I do it. I'll sometimes contribute money personally at various times with various events, but particularly with Ironman Texas, I try to make a charitable drive that's associated with that each year, so people kind of know that I'm.
So where can people, if they want to, if they hear this and they're like, hey, this sounds great, I want to get involved, whether they go to your website or.
Yeah, so I'll share links throughout all social media links. Either my website, Twitter, Facebook.
So how do we follow you on Twitter? Let's just start with that.
So it's my name at Justin Daerr. There aren't many other Justin Daerrs.
Daerr.
Yeah.
At Justin Daerr.
Yeah. Facebook is my name, and there's also a Facebook page, which is just Justin Daerr Racing.
Okay.
Be shared on both. We had some technical difficulties with the page recently, which was
king of all technology? Is he running your page too?
Yeah.
He's screwing everything in mine up today.
Yeah. So definitely, if there's issues with some of the old links, look to what I put out in the next 24 hours.
Okay.
And that should all be up to date.
That's great, man. That's really cool. That's above and beyond. So, talk to us about your romance with Chris McDonald and how you guys met and how that all started. I understand that you are best of friends. He was the best man in your wedding, or was it vice versa?
Yeah. I mean, he gave away my wife.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So, well,
Boy,
you should probably know the story behind the wedding. So, in Kona in 2010, we went to race, blah, blah. And my parents were there. My brother was there. 3 of my aunts were there. And Brooke's mother was there. And
Brooke is
my wife. So.
Oh, hi, Brooke. Brooke, we got a microphone here if you want to say a few words. All right. You proud of him? Yeah, he's doing good. So I raced that day, and at dinner that night, family was around and such. And I stood up and I said, I have an announcement to make. Brooke and I are getting married. Oh.
And everyone was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, on Tuesday.
Whoa. Whoa. Now, listen, Justin, this seems crazy. My wife is a former wedding planner, now a wedding florist. That is not enough time.
Right.
To drive your family and friends insane.
Right.
How did you pull this off?
So the whole idea was we had talked about eloping, and I said that I wanted to have my immediate family there. I wasn't that concerned with having a big wedding. Particularly my brother, in Colorado, you don't need a certified minister or something to marry you. You're actually like the two people are marrying each other and someone's just witnessing it.
They let people do anything in Colorado these days.
You need
crazy dope smokers. Yeah.
You just need a medical license for marijuana. You can marry anyone you want.
I don't even think you need a medical license anymore.
No. So, but anyways, I conducted the ceremony for him. So I felt like as a return, I would just like him to be there. And so because of the race, we knew who was going to go to support. And then we just said, okay, so we'll just plan it before they were all on the red eye out Tuesday night. So they couldn't even stick around like
Oh, wow.
for very much afterwards. It was, we got married on the beach in the morning, had some, sort of a brunch type thing. And then it was like, all right, see you later. Get on your airplane.
So how long had you actually been planning the wedding? I mean, we're talking
About the spring.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you sprung it on people late.
Right.
I kind of like that idea. Yeah.
And then I announced it on Twitter that I was married.
I hope that.
So my buddy called me because he's not really like a Twitter guy. And he said, is there something you need to tell me? I said, yeah, I got married today.
Mark, do you have any announcements on Twitter you need to make? Relationship status? Or,
Sure. And I'll make them on Twitter.
Marriage status? That's a pretty cool story, man. I like that.
Yeah, but so anybody, Chris and Marilyn went as well at
Yeah.
the time. And then Chris gave away Brooke. As,
Very sweet.
So, yeah.
Close friends then, huh? When if it comes down to a sprint between you and Chris for the win, will you trip him? Will you do anything? Elbows? Anything?
Well,
Maybe knock some cups off of the table.
I wouldn't. I honestly, I would not want it to come down to a sprint. You may not look at the guy and think, man, that guy can just explode. He's actually quite quick.
Really?
Yes.
My God, yeah, he's
Yeah.
a fast.
So I would go early.
You'd go early.
I would just hope for the best and hope that, it was far enough out that maybe that would help me out. But if it was like, if we got in that finishing shoot, I would not actually bet on myself. A 200 meter straightaway.
Yeah.
So he can crank. He can crank.
We need to get.
He's got a field
big
hockey
sexy
background.
sprinting.
You know how?
That's right there. That's a speed fast twitch.
Yeah. So he's a quick dude.
What sports did you play growing up?
Hanging out.
Skateboard.
I did. I
hacky
skateboarded. Yeah. No, I was terrible at
The
hacky.
Stoner Olympics.
If I got
Skateboarding,
past-
hacky sack.
Yeah. No, I was never inactive, but I didn't do very much structurally,
Yeah.
and was pretty involved in being the social scene. So that was kind of my sport.
So you partied.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
I'll
He
pick up
hung
what you're putting
out,
down.
Yeah.
probably talk to a lady or two. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
he's married now, but
Yeah.
Brooke, we're happy to have you here. Do you have a question for Justin, by the way? All right. We take a question from our studio audience. If anybody has a question, Brett,
Step up
there's
to
a
the
microphone
microphone.
over here, Brett. Let me turn it on for you. If you have a, thank you. Yes, please don't walk in front of my camera, Brett. Everyone here, Brett from Zen and the Art of Triathlon, a world famous podcast.
So you went to A&M
I did.
and you graduated
I did.
and you don't wear an Aggie ring.
I do not.
That's not a question.
That's not a question, Brett.
Okay.
That's judges. Yeah. This is no judging.
no.
We're not wearing white wigs. We're not
No, when I lived in
hitting a
California
gavel.
temporarily, before I came back to the motherland,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't wear an Aggie ring either. And then I was instructed now back in Texas, I have to wear one.
So
What?
ignore him, Justin.
Still
I'm
not a
gonna
question.
cut off his microphone because I'm going to call out Brett for hypocrisy right now. Many months ago, I asked him if he could give me some podcasting advice. I was thinking about starting a podcast. I drove to his house in College Station. He was not wearing his Aggie ring.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to defend yourself now. Defend yourself.
No,
Brett.
I want to say something. The triathlon program that you helped start at Texas A&M, a lot of the students that are in it now, they coach the kids program. There's now a kids triathlon team in College Station, and the coach is a dad, but he gets the assistant coaches all from the A&M.
See what you did,
triathlon
Justin? Give it up for
club.
Justin Daerr. Started
Yeah.
this club,
So my son
but not really.
is actually a really good triathlete because of what you started.
Oh, Brett Bragner. Brett with a
Backdoor brag.
humble brag. there.
Yeah. Still not a question.
Still not a question.
Still not a question.
Oh, did you live in Houston? Did you grow up in Houston?
I grew up in Houston.
We could be
I,
here for 4 to 5 hours, by the way.
I grew up in Westview. I graduated from Lamar High School.
Okay.
You guys want to talk about
So,
Freebirds?
We're going to talk
now?
about Swedish parents. Swedish
I'm
parents.
cutting off Brett. I'm hanging up on you, Brett. You're cut off. Zen and the Art of Triathlon, everyone, if you're not following them. All right, Justin, this is the most important part of the show.
Okay.
We understand from our research you're a huge Jeopardy fan.
I am.
And your dream is always to be on Jeopardy. We do a thing
To
called
win Jeopardy.
To win. Oh,
Win Jeopardy.
Of course, he's a
of
competitor.
course. No.
I'm not there yet. I figure like there's people who are just smart, right?
Yes.
And they can go on the show, they're 20 years old, whatever, and just kill it. And then there are those that have kind of lived long enough to just be around things happening,
Mhm.
and they can go on the show because they have experience. They've lived through some of the categorical questions. So I'm sort of thinking in like the kind of when I'm about 50, like before my mind starts going downhill, but it's the longest I will have lived with those experiences is when I might have a shot.
So that how's that going to help you with the Renaissance question?
Yeah, you have to know Greek mythology. That was the hard stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And you went to A&M. I know you weren't taught Greek mythology.
no, I think that goes back to like 6th grade.
You had 4 years of Texas history, and that's it.
No, I was a history major
Oh, you
at
were.
Texas A&M, which is there were like 4 of us.
All
I
right,
think.
then you probably could get a lot of the history questions right. All right. Well, here's what we're going to do. Normally, we rapid fire 5 questions. It's not. We're going to do this in Jeopardy style for you, though.
So I have to answer with a question.
Yes,
You
you
have
do.
to answer with a
Got it.
question, or I will subtract a.
Because in the first round they'll allow you to make a mistake. So if you don't re-say your answer as a question in round 1, it's still okay.
I believe you, and we will
Just
play that
assume
way.
this is the second round.
Okay.
And I'm going to play game show music.
Okay.
Okay, but please answer in the form of a question. Question number 1. Ooh, I got to turn
My
my.
heart rate's getting going.
Yes.
Get in the zone.
Yeah.
This is a lot of pressure. I'm
Yeah,
not going to lie
warm-ups.
to you. So much on the line here.
Okay.
Kelly Williamson went 5 for 5 earlier,
Oh.
so no pressure. Okay. What in the world? All right, Justin Daerr, question number 1. In 2001, this tropical storm caused the worst flooding in Houston's history.
What is Hurricane Henry?
Oh, sorry.
No. In 2001?
What is Tropical Storm Allison?
Ah. Okay.
All right. Give you more game show music.
I wasn't in Houston. I remember that.
At Try Excuse.
Yeah.
Question number 2. Answer number 2, I should say. The first Olympic snowboarding event was held in 1998 in this host city.
Nagano? What is Nagano?
That is correct. Give it up. Justin
ding,
Daerr.
ding.
1 for 2. Answer number 3, a daily double. In addition to the 2 athletes getting caught in gang crossfire at Puerto Rico 70.3 this year, 1 athlete was also seriously injured when they fell into a nest of this pest.
I believe the answer. What is fire ants? What is fire ants?
That is correct. That is correct, everyone.
I've only actually seen I don't actually know the story behind that. I've just heard the references.
No one knows the story,
That's all you need to know.
Okay.
but it's provocative. It gets the people going. Am I right, studio audience? Mark, do you think I'm a better broadcaster after a few beers?
I do. I think you're a better person.
Thank you very little. Question number 4. Texas A&M's mascot is Revelry, a Shetland sheepdog. When it dies, it is replaced by a new dog. This is the number of the current Revelry.
Reveille.
Revel.
Reveille was my roommate, actually.
Did you know that the dog will sleep on the bed and the cadet will sleep on the floor?
Is that true?
Yep.
That's wild.
And if it barks in class, you get it up. Class is out,
Wow.
but it never barks.
That is incorrect.
I'm questioning already Dark Mark's research on this. The
The
This is
number.
the number of the current.
What is 9?
That is correct.
Boom.
Yeah.
Wow, Justin Daerr. Unbelievable. By the way, my wife was an Aggie hostess, and she dated a yell leader for a while. Should I be concerned about anything that may have happened in college?
Probably. What is probably?
That is incorrect. She was a saint. All right, Justin Daerr. This is the final answer. This was the 38th state.
What is Texas?
Sorry, what is Colorado?
Oh.
I'm gonna play some sad music now.
What was the year on that?
Justin, you
76?
only got a 3 out of 5 in Jeopardy,
Yeah, 60.
but I wish you the best of luck anyway
Okay.
in the race. All right, that's enough of the sad music. This was an awesome hang.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Chris McDonald will be next at
Yes.
4 o'clock. Give it up for Justin Daerr, everybody. I predict you will win. I will be rooting for you.
You say it to everyone that comes on your show?
It's possible.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good strategy. You can't ever be wrong that way.
But I mean it every time I say it. It's just maybe I mean it a little more the next time.
Okay. Got it.
I think Dark Mark did a good job in the interview. What do you think?
I could do better.
I think our studio audience did great. Do we have one more question for Justin Daerr? Anyone from the studio audience?
Try Fantasy. You got any questions?
Try Fantasy. Oh, here comes Try Fantasy. This guy's obsessed with fantasy triathlon, Justin. Tweets about it constantly. I had to tell him to quit harassing people. Try Fantasy. What do you think here?
All right. So for the women's race, who's your top 5 then?
Ooh, women's race.
Women's.
Top 5. Good question. Try Fantasy. Try Fantasy.
I would definitely have Rachel, Leanda,
Oh, Leanda. She's not washed up.
Heather, Sarah. Who's a 5th? I need to see the list.
No, I don't know who's on it.
Who sat next to me today?
Kelly Williams.
I would put Kelly in there as well.
Kelly Williamson. We got Sarah Piampiano. Heather
Haskins is
Wortel.
racing, isn't she?
Haskins is out.
Oh, she is.
Injured.
I would have had Haskins in there.
Yeah. It
didn't
would have been
know
her first Ironman. Would have been interesting.
That's too bad.
Well, that's a lot of pressure to put on you to dissect the women's
That's
race.
Both Heathers I'd probably put in there.
Jackson.
There's a lot of
and Wortel.
there's too many good ones.
Dude,
it's
this is a stacked field.
Yeah.
You're going to have your work cut out for you.
Yeah.
I think that you will win, though, and I am rooting for you. Everybody, thank you, Justin Daerr. Give it up for him. Any sponsors to plug real quick?
Title sponsor this year is Ninox.
What's Ninox?
Ninox is a.
They'd like to sponsor my website, by the way.
Well, you might
give
give
them
them a call.
great rate on banner ads.
Yeah.
Hundreds of hits a day.
Javelin bikes.
You're disgusting.
Shimano.
Oh, you got Javelin bike. Oh, look at you. Shimano. What is Ninox again? I interrupted you. Sorry.
They're a men's clothing brand out of Boulder right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like active wear.
So their idea is sort of high-end wear that you can wear actively, but isn't sort of peppered with logos everywhere.
Oh.
This one is peppered with logos so that you can.
I love that.
see
I've been anti-logo.
Yeah. So their
Hate
actual
that.
clothes has no logos on any of their gear.
So that's the gear they ask you to wear, and it has only a model.
Well, I put that on there so that if someone takes a snap, they'll know what I'm talking about.
Please, everyone, clap if you'll be taking a selfie with Justin Daerr
Yeah.
later. King of all technology. Big clap there. All right. You've got things to do, places to go. Your friend Chris McDonald will be here in a half hour.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man. Awesome hang.
Thank you.
And we'll catch up with you after the race, maybe.
Yep.
We'll have some idiot shove a
We
mic
should do
in
the
your
same
face.
show on Monday. Just get the athletes to start drinking with you at 9 a.m. That would probably make for good radio.
Beers with Ben.
Yeah.
Just everybody.
Bloodies with Ben.
Bloodies with Ben. Oh, I like that, Justin. Daerr. You're creative. You can be on my creative team anytime. I pay nothing, and I yell a lot.
Yeah.
It's a very not rewarding. King of technology just disparaged me over there. Yeah, you keep it quiet over there. All right. I think we've said it all. We could do this all day, but
Yeah.
thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
Good luck. Everybody give it up. Justin Daerr.